Well, hello and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. This is episode 21 of this career we've been sharing on YouTube. And we left off, we were on Minmus, and we had taken pretty much all the science that we could of science we're available to take. We have 4 pieces of science we can do besides picking up samples and doing EVA reports and crew reports. And so we've done all of them. Whoops, grabbed the wrong one, but that's okay. We can fix that. Switch to. And so we have a science vessel with a science and a pilot filled to the brim with technology. 67 pieces of data that we've managed to collect so far in this mission. So one thing we neglected to collect originally was stuff from around Kerbin. And we will go ahead and try to get us some of that. What I need to do first is get into orbit, and I'm going north, and then I'm eventually going to head this direction. I just wanted to get some momentum up away from the far south that we were in. This is going to be a transition. Am I going the right way? Yeah. It's going to be a bit of a transition. I need to cross over this orbit, get into orbit, and then, make the planes equal. So, my thought is try to come in as much of an angle as I can to make that less of a burn. It just means there's probably going to be more of a burn now, so I'm not sure how helpful that is. And that's about as high as I want to get. That should put us into space high over Minmus. And so I just want to get into orbit here. Into a safe orbit. That should be a little much. That's good. And what I want to do is just basically burn to that. We will fix the orbit here. But in the meantime, by the time we get this high, we should be able to do some more science. So what we'll do is we will warp to the next maneuver. And that should be good. I'm going to go ahead and align that up. I'm going to hit the 0 key to do all of our science. That's just have that set up to do that. We'll have him come out here, take all that data. He will do an EVA, and he will do, because he can't grab a surface sample here. And we'll board again. So basically it just cleared everything. Oh, we're not going to board again. We need to grab the rest of this while we can. Hopefully we can do this kind of quickly because the burn's coming up. Collect data, restore. Collect data, restore. Take data. Take data. Up the ladder you go. Board. And look at that, right in time. All right, we should be in orbit now, and we are in orbit, right? So we will set this as our target. We just need to get on the same plane as it. It's ideal to do the node that's farthest out because it takes less fuel. Not that that matters. We have plenty of fuel. Look at that. That's almost perfect. Well, let's leave it like that. We can do another correction later where it's easier. And we'll fast forward to that maneuver. And we will speed this up a little bit. We need to wait till that's about 6 seconds. And there we go. Almost there. All right. I have time to dig in that. What we'll do is we're going to go ahead and take this and we're going to add a maneuver, and we're going to bring the, well, not to be the periapsis, but what's now the apoapsis, we're going to bring that all the way down just a little below that other one's orbit. That'll create a place where it crosses the its path twice, and that'll give us some room to work with. All right, get that burn all set up and ready. Have a fairly small one in 20 minutes. Let's warp to it. All right, we have warped to it. We're going to go ahead and aim the way we need to, speed that up a little bit so we're not just wasting a minute. And let's go a little bit further. All right. That's about where we want it. We're going to basically add a maneuver here. It'll let us intercept now. That worked out very nicely. Cool. Not as close as I would like, but we're around Minmus. Minmus encounters are not that difficult, or they shouldn't be that difficult. I don't want to speak too soon. All right. Once again, we have to wait a long time for a burn, so let's go ahead and warp to that next maneuver. This one's only 1/10 of a second. I'm obviously not going to put that on max thrust. Speed this up a little bit. There we go. Bomb. Now the question I have, where we can fix this, make this really nice, is right here. Oh, maybe we have to go this way. Okay, I think that may be a little bit too far. Yep, just not working. Thought we had it. That's about as close as we're going to get for here. We have a little more work to do when we get closer, but that's a little closer than it was before, so we'll go ahead and take advantage of the fact that we can do this. Warp to the next maneuver. These orbits are just not really well aligned, which isn't shocking because I haven't tried to be perfect. How farther would that make it better? Can't really tell, so we're just gonna go with. Speed it up. And once again, when we get closer, our approach is not very quick, so shouldn't be too big of a deal to. Hard to fight zero. Speed up time, get closer to this. All right. Go ahead and null this out because we're starting to. All right. What I need to do, that is set as target, and that is the actual target that I want. I want to switch ships. And I want to set this as my target. And I want to go ahead and aim towards it. And that's the opposite of aiming towards it. That's aiming away from it. Let's aim towards it. All right, that's pretty good. We will now... Oops, same thing. Went the wrong direction. Okay, so we're at least sort of aiming towards each other now. All right, we're going to go ahead and turn on RCS. All right, so I'm trying really hard right now. Well, what I need to do is to null this out. And that's not the way you null it out. Where is my... There it is. Need to do a retrograde for a couple of blasts. All right. Now, let's aim back here. Change to the other ship. Aim in the right direction. Change this again. We're getting there. All right, we're going to turn this back on. All right, better aimed. Better aimed. We're going slow. Whoops. What is it doing? All right. Make sure this is still lined up. All right. We are there. Turn off the RCS. All right. We're going to hop into here real quick and make sure that all liquid fuel is in the ships that it needs to be in. It's in the tank that oxidizer is that's the only place it can be. And RCS, I think the same thing. We're going to go ahead and push it out of that. That'll put it back into this, and this is the only one that has the tools. This one just has extra involved in it. Except, well, that's right. We don't need it in any of those. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to transfer the crew. At least we're going to transfer Jebediah into the return vessel. Bob, however, we can't transfer this apparently any other way, so he's going to hop out. Where is he hopped out? There he is. He's going to hop out and grab all of this data. And from there, he's going to just basically EVA. Don't know what in the world is happening. There we go. So I pushed him out a little bit because I don't want to run into any of those solar panels. And I think we have to go to the other side, it looks like. Because of course we do. All right. We'll get lined up here. And we'll fly on in. F grab, there we go. Then we'll board, and we are there. We are there. All of that great data that we've been accumulating over the past few episodes is all in the return ship. So the next thing we have to do is say goodbye to our space station. We'll decouple that, leaving it with another docking port, if nothing else. Oops. And then we have to plan our escape. And the best way to plan our escape is to come to this side of the moon approximately and add a maneuver. And we'll see if there's... That's about as good as we're going to get for the time being, and that's fine. For 14 seconds of burn, that's not too bad. That says we don't have any liquid fuel. I find that difficult to believe because we haven't used any liquid fuel. And you saw that I had pushed more into it. So I'm not really sure what's up with that, to be honest with you. And it just changed. So, no idea. No idea what's going on. Oh, I know what's happening. I am in the wrong ship. All right. Once again, we will go ahead and do that. That was a bonehead maneuver. I should have noticed that nobody was on board, but... It says we don't have 10 seconds of burn time. I find that difficult to believe. It is active, right? Activate engine. That's our problem. Okay, that was really strange. I could have sworn I had that activated, but I guess I didn't. All right, well, that explains a lot. We have 29 minutes before that burn. We will warp to that next maneuver. We've got a ridiculous amount of delta V if that's correct. I sometimes doubt those things, but not sure if that mod has been updated in a while or it's buggy, but it seems like some of the new engines come up with some pretty strange results. So, I don't know if I want to trust that completely or not, but here we go. And there we are. So, when we get to the apoapsis here, we're going to add a maneuver. No, we're not, because it's going to go this way. So, forget I mentioned that. As soon as we're out of orbit, we'll add a maneuver. Or out of orbit of the moon, I should say. All right. And what we'll do is we were going to go ahead and burn retrograde. Till we get this into the Kerbal atmosphere, which is a little bit farther. Okay, that might be a little bit much. I do want it in there, and I want it in there fairly deeply, but not 30,000. Okay. Now we have plenty of fuel, so what I plan to do is to burn a lot right about here to bring this apoapsis down. And so that's what we shall do. That's warping pretty fast. It's just that the gravity hasn't really accelerated this in a huge way yet. Okay, and we will go ahead and... Whoops. We're going to hop into this view first. I want to make sure I keep that periapsis up. In fact, I may. Goodness. What I'm trying to do is bring that up while bringing the other down. And I have brought that down quite a bit. Not as much as I would like. So let's see what we can do. Don't want to go forward. As soon as that hits 60, we're going to bring it closer this direction. And that should bring it down a lot. There's a sweet spot in here someplace, and I don't exactly know where it's at. But that's okay. We can kind of search for it. No, doesn't matter. That's all the fuel we have. So we'll go ahead and put that on a... We'll definitely make it down without too much trouble. Trying to speed this up. Not sure why it's not. Oh, because I pressed the wrong key. That would do it. All right, we are going. As soon as we're in the atmosphere, I'm going to go ahead and dump this engine in this gas tank. Oh, that's weird. Okay. This is what we're looking for. Is like, why is that not working? I am not really sure why it decided to put me in control of that rather than this. But, yeah, it did, as we saw. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward. I've never used one of these like this before, but it's got a built-in ablator. I gave it this, oh, what's that? For the stability, I can't even think of the name of it. That's hilarious. But it, gives it some attitude control. Kind of funny going into this thing with this little ball. We're still really high in the atmosphere. I mean, we're going back up because we didn't bleed all of that off. But I honestly thought we were going to be able to. Kind of odd. What is that? That is so weird. That's so weird. All right. Well, we're going to fast forward this. We'd already just fast forward where we can do it the fast way, I think, because I think we're out of... Yeah. We're out of the atmosphere, so we can go around fast. This is not going to survive another dip into the atmosphere. Not that low. Because that did burn off quite a bit. At least I think so. I mean, it's going down to 43, so almost shocked that it didn't do it this time. All right, we're back in. We'll fast forward. Once again, we'll go retrograde and put our heat shield forward. We're going to watch the apoapsis drop. And as that drops, I mean, the circle goes in more and more. So that means that more and more the ship is in the atmosphere. So, yeah, it just gets to the point where there's just no way out. And the apoapsis is below the atmosphere. The periapsis is underground. That ablator really eats away a lot of speed right along with protecting the ship. That's a lot of energy going into heat. Kind of amazing. I think the air is thick enough to stop these objects, at least from going from that high of a speed. That's still pretty amazing. Okay, there are our drogues. We could drop the other ones. I usually try to hold off on that until we get a little closer to the ground. And there we go. I'm going to speed this up. And we are going to recover this ship with tons of science. Just tons of science. Kind of struggling with... I mean, it's going at 7 meters per second, which isn't horrible. But it's kind of struggling with that. I was thinking that would have been an adequate parachute for this, but it seems like it's heavier for some reason. I didn't add that much to it. There we go. We are here. Let's recover this. Where are we at? We're in grassland, so nothing to recover from here. They'll be gilding the lily just a little bit. This is going to be insane. If it ever loads. There we go. 4,682 science earned. Oh my God. So yeah, we're going to be able to spend a little bit of money the next time we go. We have an episode, or not money, but science. We'll have a little money to spend too, but wow. That is impressive. That is going to be a kid in a candy store time next episode, so I hope to see you there. To make sure you're there, click the subscribe button, and then you'll be, notified that I have a new video out. And be sure to like this one so more people can enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day. Thanks for coming. Be safe.